In this video, we are going to learn how to set up Apache using Ansible Playbook. If you look at this diagram, what we are going to do is we are going to first create a new EC2 instance using Ansible Playbook. Once we create the new EC2 instance, we are going to establish SSH communication between Ansible with the target EC2 instance. Once we do that, we should be able to create a playbook in order to install Apache on the target EC2 instance. So this is what we are actually going to do. Okay. And then we also need to make sure we create an entry in the inventory file. Okay. So where Ansible is installed, right? Because the playbook is going to use that group which is mentioned in the inventory file. So yeah, so let's get started. If you look at the prerequisites, yes, we need to have Ansible installed. So if you look at my AWS console, I have already installed Ansible on this EC2 instance. I am also actually connected to that EC2 instance as well. So this is my machine where I have installed Ansible. So if you wanted to learn how to set up Ansible on Ubuntu EC2 instance, you can definitely watch my other videos. Okay. All right, so let's get started. So what we need to do is we need to set up a new EC2 instance. For that, we have to create a playbook. I have already provided that link over here. Okay, so all we have to do is, create this playbook in order to create a new EC2 instance. In fact, I have a video on this. You can, go through this in order to learn how to do that. So I already have the playbook created over here. You see here. So this is the playbook. And that playbook is going to create a new EC2 instance, especially it is going to create a new Ubuntu EC2 instance. So that is where we are going to set up Apache on, right? So what I'm going to do, let me quickly go ahead and then execute the playbook, which is going to create a new EC2 instance where we are going to set up Apache on. Okay. All right, so let's see. So right now it is in the process of executing the playbook. Fantastic, right? Fantastic. So if I go to AWS console, I should be able to see the new EC2 instance, right? Wow, see it? So this is the new EC2 instance, okay? So what is the second step? So what is the second step? So once the new EC2 instance is created, so we have to establish SSH communication between the Ansible management node with the target EC2 instance, right? So let's quickly log in into our target EC2 instance as well. So open up your git bash or putty, whatever it is. So I'm going to connect to my target EC2 instance, which we just provisioned. There you go. See, this is a new EC2 instance, right? So what we need to do is we have to create keys in the Ansible management node, and then we have to upload the public keys into the target EC2 instance, right? Because Ansible is completely based on agentless architecture. It is going to use SSH keys in order to communicate, with the target EC2 instance, right? Okay, great. So let's quickly go ahead and then create SSH keys. So I already have keys created, so I'm not going to override that. Okay, so you can go ahead and then print the keys. So this is the keys, public key, and then we have to copy that public key into this file, right? So don't mess around with this key. So that is the key you are going to SSH, right? That is the key we have used to SSH into this EC2 instance. So we should not mess around with that key. We have to create a new entry. Okay, so let me copy the public key from my Ansible management node and then copy that into a target EC2 instance and then save this file. So now I should be able to SSH, right? So let me quickly validate that 172.31.21.42. Say yes. Perfect. You see here? So I was able to SSH from my Ansible management node into the target EC2 instance. Perfect, right? Awesome. So everything is looking good. And then I'm going to type exit. I want to go back to my Ansible management node. As you can see here, this is where we had created playbook, right? Perfect. So everything is looking good. So what is the next step? So we did take care of the first step. We also took care of the second step. The third step is, we have to modify the inventory file in order to, add this new EC2 instance, to the inventory file, right? So let's do that. So let me go back to my Ansible management machine. Okay, I'm going to open up this inventory file, and then we are going to create a group. So let's create a group called Apache group. You can give any name, it doesn't matter, depending on the naming convention your company is following. So this is a group name, and what we have to do is we have to add the target EC2 instance IP address, right? IP address or DNS name, you can use any one of them. 172.31.21.42. Sorry, I made a typo. 172.31.21. Okay, perfect. And then what we have to do is we have to add this entry as well. So this will tell Ansible that you are going to use the keys in order to securely communicate with the target EC2 instance. And this also tells that where Python got installed on the target EC2 instance. So this is needed because Ansible is completely based on Python language. So it is going to use Python in order to execute the playbook on the target EC2 instance, right? So let me come out of it. So that's it, right? So once you make this entry over here, you can make the change and then come out of it. Perfect, right? So everything is done pretty much except the playbook, right? So let's quickly validate. So yeah, so the step number 3 also completed, and then the final step is to create the playbook and then execute the playbook on the target EC2 instance, right? So let's create the Ansible playbook. So this is how you're going to create Ansible playbook, right? So this is a very simple playbook. So let's create this playbook. And then we are going to copy this entry. So if you see here, right, so this is the group name. So if you remember, we have made an entry in the inventory file, right? So this is the inventory file. We have created an entry. We have created this group, and then we have added the target EC2 instance, right? So you have to mention the same group name in the inventory file, right? So Ansible is smart enough to, pick up all the host name or all the hosts under that group name, and then it is going to start installing Apache, right? Okay, and then these are the two different tasks, right? So which is going to install Apache, right? So perfect. So let's go ahead and then exit that. Now we can start executing the playbook. So before I execute the playbook, you can validate if Apache is installed on the target machine, right? So as you can see here, I don't have Apache installed, right? Apache's default port is 80. So as you can see here, Apache is not installed, right? So we are not able to see anything. So let's quickly go ahead and then install Apache. So now we have to say yes. Wow. See here, so we got the confirmation that OK equal to 3. It means that it was able to execute all those tasks. So now if I go ahead and then execute this curl command, wow, see here, so this confirms that Apache is installed, right? And of course, you can also go to the browser and then copy the target EC2 instance public DNS name, and then go ahead and then mention over here. Wow, see here. So we got confirmation that Apache is installed, right? So yeah, so if you remember, we did create a new EC2 instance, correct? And make sure, I forgot to mention that point, make sure you are opening up port 80. You see here, right? So I can also show you in my playbook as well. And this is not the one, so this one, right? So if you remember, I know I did not open up the playbook, but you see here, so these are the port numbers, we have opened up, right? So we have opened up port 80 as well. So yes, Apache's default port is port 80. So if you want to access Apache, yes, port 80 should be open in the firewall rule, right? So which we did already, right? As part of the playbook, right? So yeah, so that's it, guys. That's how you can set up Apache using Ansible Playbook on your EC2 instance. Thank you for watching.